on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the London Bulldogs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the London Bulldogs. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Check 180. Check 53. Regular. Cut.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 29, Mayfield. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a ring on a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Strip that ball. Pistol.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down now, it's Jacobs, and he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And shedding his way forward. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And Stills bringing it in. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 22 yards there, a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Rosen completes it to Parker, and he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 51 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Caught by Wilson. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the safety creep.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. It's complete. Stills. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll give it to Chubb, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So that one a long 11-play drive. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Running is Jacobs. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It was Breeland Speaks getting home to the quarterback that time.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check. Lucky.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. Touchdown! A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Now it's Rosen. Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Rosen. Yeah, this is caught. It's Parker. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Rosen now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Rosen. On the left side, this is Stills. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Rosen. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess that in the locker room, they talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game. But this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And taken right on the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots on. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Mayfield now from the 50. He finds his target, Beckham. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Rosen will throw. It gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Following the penalty, Chubb. Room to run past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 38, Rosen. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Room here to run. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
26 months. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
1st down, Mayfield. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. And some room to maneuver. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
They begin this drive with Chubb, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rosen. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. He won't go down. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he finds Parker here, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. But now it's Rosen looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, throws like that, especially where we sit in the fourth quarter, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, and you know one of my faults is that I often view this game through a defensive back's eyes. And in this situation, your team's losing, it's late, tighter coverage, take a chance and go and try and step in front of one of those and make a big play. So if you're the quarterback, that should be in your head. This is their time to take a gamble.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now Rosen looking to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Mayfield. That's going to be caught by Samuel. The 20. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. David Njoku, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They have the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. It's complete. Stills. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Rosen. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. Rosen. Going to look deep for Wilson. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rosen, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. On 3rd down, Rosen. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Jacobs now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He's going to fire one deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. They run it with Jacobs. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Let's go.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game.
Tell me what you want, what you need, tell me what you wanna give, how much blood would you bleed?